Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. It's July 20th, 2024. Do you ever feel like you're living in the Twilight Zone? That everybody around you is a little bit crazy and you have no idea what you're doing, where you are? Please hit the thumbs up if that's you. But I'm going to read to you why I feel like I'm living in the Twilight Zone, aside from being a targeted person. This is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. Well, I subscribe to our little local newspaper. It's the only way I get to find out what's going on around here because, obviously I don't talk to anybody. Nobody's going to tell me anything. They don't have a Facebook page where you can find out any information. There are no alerts to your cell phone about anything that's going on. You don't get invited to any of the meetings, right? So I've got the local newspaper. It's dated Wednesday, July 17, 2024. It's the Jackson County Sun statistics section. And my favorite Judge Gabbard, Judge Executive for Jackson County, has a section here, a segment that he writes every week. I thought this one really stuck out. Given what you all know about my channel and the off-the-charts level of vandalism and theft here. Okay, so they let me just back up. It says, the only thing we lack is a new blacktop on the lower fields. Yeah, that's really important. And pavement from the parking lot to the concession stand. We did have a fire in the concession stand at the park recently with some substantial damage. It appears the stove shorted out. More likely storm related and caused a fire inside the concession stand. If the building wasn't concrete block building, we probably would not have a building right now. I have contacted the KA Co. and filed a claim for the fire. They have sent out an adjuster and we're in the process of receiving a quote from them to repair the building and replace the contents. Insurance should cover the cost of the damage. Well, lucky you. I haven't been that lucky. Now this is the good part, folks. Follow me here. We've had several incidents of vandalism at our parks recently. We have had to replace sinks and toilets at Worthington Park and Greyhawk Park several times this year. We need to look into more advanced camera systems for our parks to see if we can catch the responsible parties and hopefully prevent any more damage. Vandalism is truly a despicable act. It makes no sense whatsoever. And we seem to be the recipients of acts of vandalism more and more every year. Yeah, me too, Judge Gabbard. But nobody's reporting mine. Nobody at the sheriff's department is even writing an incident report or come here to photograph it. So I'm not even able to submit an insurance claim. He says, I don't understand why. If we could persuade people to turn themselves around, it would be amazing what difference they could make in society. I kid you not. Everyone has choices in life. Choices you make will follow you around forever. I know we have wonderful people in our community that will band together and help anyone, anytime. Those responsible for the acts of violence and destruction do not define us. Jackson County is full of wonderful people, and I am honored to serve them. Well, since, if I decided to write a commentary in response, to the local editor, I guarantee it wouldn't be published. So, Judge Shane Gabbard, I'm going to respond to you here. And I'm sure the local community who stalk my YouTube channel will fill you in on what's going on here. Okay, so since July of 2019, Judge Gabbard, I have had 28 rescue cats that I transported at my own expense from New Jersey to Kentucky, stolen, poisoned, their home broken into. Yeah. Their food sabotaged, their walls sabotaged, their humidifier and dehumidifier sabotaged. Their blankets and pillows and pillowcases vandalized. The exterior of the building and the entrance vandalized. And in fact, they vandalized the original windows and the window seal so badly, I had to replace all the windows at a tune of over $3,000. That's right. I never submitted it for an insurance claim, though. I guarantee it wouldn't have been paid. But nevertheless, guess what's happening now? Those windows and screens and sealers are also being vandalized. And I guarantee the sheriff's department knows who's doing it. But they don't even come out here to take a claim or an incident report. Oh, and what about the buildings that Travis Sparks built? Remember that sweet little old man that everybody claims to have loved? Well, you're all a bunch of hypocrites, aren't you? Yeah, a bunch of hypocrites. He'd be rolling around in his grave knowing how the people that were allegedly his friends are total backstabbers. Yeah. They vandalized these buildings that he put his heart and soul into after his wife died to deal with his grief. And people are pulling up boards, burning holes in walls, burning Illuminati eyes on the side of the buildings, dumping animals on the property, animals that cause destruction, animals that harm other people. They're poisoning my grass, for God's sake. Yeah, I can use that word, for God's sake. You Mr. Minister, right? You're going to go to church, you're going to have your little church ceremony, and you're going to talk about, oh, how you're being vandalized. You know what? But your claim will be paid, and it's not coming out of your pocket either. But guess what's coming out of my pocket every time something is damaged here, Judge? And what about the county creek? Oh, that's a whole nother story entirely. The county creek, you gaslighted me, stonewall me when I tried to call. You placed me on hold indefinitely, or your workers placed me on hold indefinitely. You're so professional. Such a professional guy. Yeah, but you're complaining here about the vandalism. It's a truly despicable act. You're absolutely right. We can agree right here. Vandalism is a despicable act. And it does make no sense whatsoever. But you know what? That's what happens here when you're living amongst very immature, jealous, and spiteful people. This is what you get. You don't understand why, that it's increasing more every year. Well, guess what? I know for a fact that when Travis Sparks lived here, he complained to the former Sheriff Hayes. I know for a fact he complained about it. And nothing was ever done. Oh, I guess it was blamed on, the people that were using drugs. Well, guess what? People use drugs all over the country, all over the world. Not everybody gets the level of vandalism that happens here. And we won't even go talk about the thefts. But what about the vandalism of the creek? I don't know how much money you invested in that makeshift repair of the culvert on the county road, or that makeshift quick fix alleged stabilization of the retaining wall for the creek. I don't know how much you spent. Whatever it was not worth a dime. Because it's going to break apart. But guess what, Judge Gabbard? Shortly after your guys left here, and it's not your workers' fault. They did a great job, to the best of their ability. They worked their asses off in 93-degree weather. But after they left for the day, your local criminals, your local vandals came and vandalized the cement, the rock, and the asphalt street. Yes, I've got photos posted online. You better check it out. It's a good idea if you check it out. Because you're the one who's in charge of the road department. You're the one that's in charge of the repairs. And just for the record, the Division of Water said it looks like a slop job. It looks like you just had leftover cement and just slopped it on. And I don't even think you applied for a permit. Did you apply for a permit? I don't think so. And the angle of that culvert is not correct. So if you're listening to this, this is my public FOIA request. I would like a copy of the plans and who designed the repair for that road. Did you consult with a civil engineer? That's a question. Did you consult with a civil engineer? If you did, I would like the name of the civil engineer. I want to know what it cost, who designed the work, and just for the record, it's been vandalized already. And perhaps you know, perhaps you don't know, but I'm telling you flat out, it's been vandalized already. That concrete slab is going to go sliding into the creek. And when it floods my property, if I'm still living here, you too will be sued. You can count on that. Personally, and the county, and everybody else who worked on it. And then, of course, you can complain about the vandalism that happens every year. What are you doing to prevent it? What is the sheriff's department doing to prevent it? I have never seen in the paper anyone arrested for vandalism. I haven't. Only for drug use or, traffic issues, car issues, little thefts, little domestic violence, of course. The usual things that happen all across the country. The reason the vandalism is off the charts is because no one is being held responsible. No one is being investigated. And I guarantee that the people that are being let go on the slide that are vandalizing my property, while it's listed for sale and has been going on for 5 years, if I gave you a total amount of what I spent, my 3 greenhouses torn down, how about somebody entering into my shed and pouring grease underneath my plastic containers to leave a permanent mark in there? It's grease. It wasn't water, Judge Gabbard. You need to hook up with the sheriff's department and perform an investigation here. Because what's happening here at my property is now obviously funneling off into other places. Because if you don't nip it in the bud in one place, they're going to take advantage everywhere else. It's like raising kids. You know about that, right? You've got a bunch of kids. You let them do whatever they feel like doing whenever they want to. Don't reprimand them. Don't give them structure. You let them do whatever they want to do. Even if it's wrong? Probably not. So you need to hook up with the sheriff's department and investigate these crimes. Because they're going to continue happening. And nobody's being held accountable. You're letting it slide. And you know what? You're part of the problem. Go along to get along. When you report to Ross Murray, when you report to the county lawyer who's misguiding everybody, telling them to not do this or not speak to me or whomever else, too, controlling everything. Like I said, he's going to put you all in deep doo-doo. So anyway, that's my note to the editor about vandalism here in Jackson County. And I agree with you. Vandalism is truly a despicable act. And you want to hope that you can catch the responsible people? Well, guess what they do? You upgrade your security cameras unless it's hardwired. Guess what the criminals do here? They have illegal Wi-Fi jammers. They jam the Wi-Fi signal. I could prove it. Go ask I shouldn't even say, go ask the local internet company how many times I've called them and ask them what's going on with the Wi-Fi. There's nothing wrong on their end. It's only on my end. Every time somebody drives by, my Wi-Fi goes out. And you know what I'm talking about. You all know what I'm talking about. All the neighbors in this little small town. So yeah, I feel like I'm living in the Twilight Zone. But when I leave, when I move, and I will be moving, you're going to have to clean up where you left off. It's not going to be good. Because all these people that you allow to do what's happening here, dumping water on my property, scratching and etching things to base metal on my property, ruining all my water catchment, taking down 3 greenhouses, all this money I spent here. I haven't gotten a dime back from the insurance company. Not a dime. You know why? Because nobody reports it here. Sheriff's Department does nothing, doesn't even write the incident reports. And when you FOIA request them, they're blank. Well, why is that, Judge Gabbard? Well, you will expect more vandalism because the world is not a good place now. But you're right, it makes no sense to vandalize something. But people are angry. They're angry about what other people have. And they're very immature. And some of them are being paid to do it, and some of them just get off on it for sadistic pleasure. It turns them on. Yeah, I hate to say it. But yeah, it does. It turns some people on. And you're absolutely right. The choices that you make will follow you forever. And that goes for what you've done with the county creek, the retaining wall, for 5 years. That will follow you. Karma is a bitch. And actually, Carmageddon, it's the new word order. And those responsible for acts of violence and destruction, they do define this county because nothing's being done about it. So I disagree with you there, Judge. But anyway, yeah, Jackson County is full of wonderful people. I don't know, I haven't met very many of them. I met a lot of sheep here. A lot of idiots. They like to detonate bombs on my driveway. Throw IEDs on my driveway. They think it's fun at 2 o'clock in the morning. But what are you doing about it? And like I said, you ignore what's going on here, it's going to funnel out through the community. I'm not going to ever shut up about it either. So anyway, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. That is my Saturday rant about vandalism and my response to what was written in the judge's report. It's dated July 11, 2024, but the paper was July 17. I look forward to your questions and comments down below. Have you ever read such a ridiculous thing in your local newspaper about vandalism? Please leave a comment down below. I'd love to have a chat about it. I'm going to sign off for now.